So today I will be teaching you how to take apart the gauge cluster in the 2014 to 2016 Corolla LE. The only tools that you are going to need would be pry tools if you have them. I don't, so I'm just going to use two flatheads, one on the bigger side, one on the smaller side for the more delicate pieces, and a Phillips head for the couple screws that we are going to need to undo. I'm going to start over here on the driver's side. It doesn't matter if you start on the passenger side or driver's side. I'm going to start over here since I'm already over here. You're going to take off this side trim piece right here. Do that, just put it in there, pop that out, which will give you access to just pull this piece right here straight out. If you guys would like, I could also make a full in-depth video on how to take apart the air vents on either side, since I did that to paint mine. Now we're going to come right over here to the passenger side. We're going to take this big dash piece off right here. And to do that, I always start right about in here and just pry toward me, just to get it started. Then you can get your hand in there and just start popping the pieces out. All of this is going to come out. This trim piece on top, just grab at it and just pull at it. You're not going to break anything, so don't worry about it too much. I pull the hell out of this and it doesn't break, and it's going to come right off. Once it's off, you're going to see two wiring harnesses that are plugged in. This one over here is for the turn signals. This one is for the passenger airbags. Alright, to get these off, there's a little tab right about here. Right in here. All you gotta do is just get your small screwdriver in there and pry it out. If not, you can get your hand in there as well and pop that right out. Same thing on this side. Get your hand in there, push on that tab right there, and that'll come right out, and then this whole dash front piece is off. As you can see, this is a work in progress here. I could always teach you guys how to take this piece off as well, and I could also teach you how to take off this piece here and the cup holder section as well. Moving back over to the driver's side, we are going to get this trim piece off right here. It goes up and around the steering wheel, or behind the steering wheel I should say. To take this off, all you gotta do is just find an area that is kind of sticking out and just pull it straight out, and that comes up just like that. The next step is to get these two Phillips head screws right here and just take those out. So obviously just take a Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew those. Alright, so the gauge cluster is almost ready to come out. All we gotta do is just take the steering wheel and just pull that down and bring it the whole way back, so that this gives room for the gauge cluster to actually come out. After the two screws come out, the only thing that's holding this in is two clips on top, which they honestly just pull right out. So all you gotta do is just get your hand in here and just pull it out. And on the other side, same thing. Just pull it right out, and the gauge cluster is out and loose. And of course, we can't forget about the wiring harnesses back here. So just take the tabs, push them in and pull. Same thing on the little one here. Take the tab, if I can find it, push in and pull. For some of these, it's a little bit easier to just take your smaller head screwdriver and pry it out that way. There we go, just like so. Then to take this out, we're going to bring it over here behind the steering wheel, and that comes out just like that. In order to take this front plastic piece off that gives you access to inside here, all you need to do is flip it over, and there is going to be 5 or 6 clips that hold it in, which looks like these right here, the clear ones. There's one here. There's one here, 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 and then one there and there. All you gotta do is just pop those out, which I'm going to do right now. And to do that, just push on it, and that'll come right out. Just like that. And then that gives you full access inside here. As you can see, you can move all these gauges around. Now, to actually get these gauge cluster trim pieces apart, you got to be very delicate because these are very fragile. They feel like they can break at any moment. So just be extra careful when you're doing this. But it's pretty simple. Just grab somewhere and pull up very gently. As you can see, it doesn't take much force to get these out. But as you're working your way around it, you'll be able to feel the tabs that hold it in. And there we go. That's how you take the dash trim pieces apart for the gauge cluster. You can paint this, you can replace it if it's broken somehow, do whatever you want with it, and it's out. Now to put everything back together, it's pretty much just the opposite as what you just did, but I'll show you anyway. What you're going to do is you're going to line up the tabs with the holes here, and again, be very delicate and easy with these because they are very flimsy. Toyota definitely didn't put any extra money into these because they are just cheap plastic. Then we're going to put the clear cover back on. And while you have it off, it's actually a really good idea to clean the inside of both of these out, just in case any dust, dirt, or anything gets trapped in between before, during, or after painting. And same thing here, just take the clear cover and just get those clips, push the whole way in. You'll feel all of them clip into place. Next is to put the gauge cluster back into place, which again, you just push it behind the steering wheel. It's sometimes a very weird process to get these in, but just wiggle it around, you'll get it in, not a problem. And then we just need to re-plug up these wiring harnesses right here. Make sure you plug them in before you put the gauge cluster back into place. Ask me how I know that. Once you get those plugged in, pretty simple. You'll see this paint clip here and the paint clip over here. They get pushed back into these white holders right here. So pretty much just line that up in the back, clip it, and the Phillips head screws go back in next. I did forget to mention, before you get too far into reassembling everything, make sure you just turn your key into the run position. Make sure your screen here works. All the buttons, all the lights light up, I should say. Just fine. The gas gauge is correct. As you can see, the odometer screen works good. No problems there. So we're good to go. Now, of course, when putting the Phillips heads back in, be very careful not to drop the screws, because you definitely do not want to lose them. As you see, you tighten it down. It goes back in farther. Same thing on the other side. Just take that screw and screw it in. Leave that behind the steering wheel. And you'll see these clips on top here. They were going to go line up into these holes up here. So just take those and line them up in here. Let me see if I can get a good focus in there. There we go. You're going to line those up in there. Take it and then push in that trim all around. No matter if you do the passenger side or the driver side. Since we're already on the driver side, we're going to do the driver side trim piece first. So all you do, grab that trim piece, and this one, that one here, and that one here is going to go into these holes right here. So just line it up. And push that all together. Take this trim piece here, and that goes back together like that. So we're going to take the big dash trim piece, we're going to get it into place so that we can plug in the 2 wiring harnesses. Do by yourself, just get it resting somewhere where it's kind of just resting there, and then you can easily just reach behind there, plug in that white wiring harness into that hole right there. The other wiring harness in just a little bit easier. You can take this trim piece and just push in these 2 clips on this one side, move over here, and just simply plug in this harness into that hole right there. And once you do that, just give that a click and the 4-way should pop on. Take the dash, push it in. You'll hear a lot of snapping, cracking. It's all normal, you're not breaking anything. It's just a dash getting set up into place. Extra tip for anyone that would like to know, these come out as well, super easy. Just take a small flathead or a trim removal piece and just pull it up. Pops right out. That is how you remove the gauge cluster trim on the LE models. If you guys would like to see the S model trim be taken apart, let me know in the comments down below. I can definitely make a video for you guys for that. Anything else in my interior you guys would like to see how to take apart, let me know in the comments below as well. And just to give you guys a little look into my interior, here it is. I got the front done, the back done. I had the ugly tan interior. As you can see, I painted the trim pieces here. I painted the seat belt trim piece here, as well as the 2 dome lights trim pieces, the side passenger window side airbag piece right there, the sun visors, as well as the dash trim pieces, the door trim pieces, because they were both that ugly tan cream color, whatever you want to call it. If you guys would like to see how to do anything on the outside as well, this is the outside of my 15 Corolla. Be sure to leave a like, comment if there's anything else you would like to see done, and be sure to subscribe, guys.